Tom Belanger kicked the rusty can, as if teasing it, across the litter-strewn yard. A light breeze came up. It blended garbage, dust and leaves, trapping it all in a funnel of wind. Almost as quickly as the wind rose, it dropped, settling the filthy blobs of colour around him. The clearing felt smaller than he had remembered it to be. It was edged with a mix of spruce, willow and poplar trees that leaned in from the forest. Even after all these years, no trees had ventured into the yard, as if instinctively avoiding life within its boundaries. The deciduous trees were still without leaves, but the small hedge of carraganus had got their usual early start. Tom turned and looked beyond the weed-infested yard to the small, crumbling hovel that was once his home. He eyed the shack, trying to remember the exact interior layout where he and his parents and siblings had once eaten and slept. Instinctively, Tom shook off a shudder. A rusty bucket lay on its side, jammed between the broken floorboards of the steps, wedged as if left there to reserve the place in which Tom had often sat. Tall blades of grass grew up between the gaps, waving back and forth, as if encouraging him to cross the threshold. It had been years since he had been on the farm, and if not for the task that he must perform today, he would not be there. The single-paned glass in the windows was dirty and broken. Tattered, ragged curtains concealed the house's secret. Many years had passed since a light shined from the interior, and equally as many since any snow had been shovelled from the doorway. The roof sagged at its centre, as if taking on the weight of the world. The door hung limply from one hinge. Time had greyed the exterior walls, blending them with the forest. Tall grasses grew near the structure, seemingly attempting to engulf the building. A previous rain had filled a wide puddle at a low spot near the old woodshed. It reflected the mackerel sky and skeletal treetops. Partially hidden amid the trees were the remains of the first building that had stood on this land, his pa's old moonshine shack. Hateful as the sight was, Tom was unable to look away. His eyes were riveted to its old rotting remains. He was grateful for the way in which nature was swallowing it back into the earth. On the outside, Tom appeared calm, but his emotions were battered by the secrets that lay hidden behind every tree. Those old memories reminded him of the purpose for this visit, and he shifted the ornate urn in his hands. A fine dust seeped from it, lightly soiling the arm of his fine wool jacket. Just then the ugly caw of a raven shrieked overhead. Tom turned, searching for the bird. That sudden movement stirred the dusty roadway. Very slowly the powdery sediment settled on his finely polished shoes. The piercing cry reminded Tom of the myth surrounding ravens and their connection with life and death. That correlation brought to mind the bird's intelligence, and Tom wondered if it might know what he was holding in his arms. He looked up at the black bird, then down at the urn before advancing his step. Tom gave no thought towards the desiccated life that the vessel contained. Suddenly, a dozen large black birds cried out. A flurry of wind swept through the clearing, lifting bits of trash. The woeful cries blended as one with the swirling leaves. The dust and debris distorted his vision and swept him far back in time, back to another day, so long ago.